So, the Cavs have now lost 3 straight and 5 of their past 7 games after falling to Detroit last night. When LeBron was on the court last night, the Cavs outscored the Pistons by 18 points. But in the 9 minutes LeBron was on the bench, the Cavs were outscored by 23 points. LeBron, your thoughts?
I think tonight it was all about the beginning or end of quarters. Well, we was up 15, 27-12 in the first quarter. We didn't end the quarter the right way. It was only up 7. And then the same thing in the end of the second quarter. We had a nice lead, and we end up being down at the end of the half. And the same thing with the fourth quarter. You know, we up 7, and they go on a 12-0 run or whatever the run was. So it was a game of runs, and you know, we got to figure out a way when it become a thunderstorm. We got to kind of weather the storm, and I don't think we did a good job of that tonight.
Paging Kyrie Irving, Stephen A. Is it time to question Kyrie?
Yes, but I mean that respectfully in this sense. The brother's a star. I love Kyrie. Great guy, fantastic player. And he dropped, listen, they didn't play the 3 straight. The first loss was to Miami. They had back-to-back losses to Miami. The first loss, him and LeBron didn't even play. Then they came to Cleveland. They played. Kyrie showed up, dropped 32. LeBron had about 29. Next game in the loss to Detroit last night, he had about 29 or so. Kyrie's putting up his points. Really, it's the 3-point shooting production. Last night, J.R. Smith first came back, 1 of 9 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3-point range. Wasn't that impressive. Game before that, Kyle Korver from 3-point range. Wasn't that impressive. Darren Williams over the last 2-3 games or so hasn't been that impressive in terms of his point production. You need more from them. You need better defense from them, because in the 5 of the last 7 losses, you got to remember, they've given up over 100 points in each loss. So their defense has to get better 3-point production. But here's why I say, and I bring up the name Kyrie. There are 2 stars on the Cleveland Cavaliers. One is LeBron James. The other is Kyrie. What I would want from Kyrie and from Kevin Love as well when he gets back, I would want them to pay attention to that statistic that talks about them being like 4-19 without LeBron overall, 0-4 this year without LeBron, or 0-5 without LeBron. I'd want them to pay attention to that and then harbor that in just that personal pride that sits there and says, we tired of losing when LeBron James is not on the court. Just because he's not on the court doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to win games. If I'm the star that I am, and Kevin Love, once he comes back, is the star that some believe him to be. Again, I'm not blaming Kyrie in any way. I'm simply saying that you got to take it upon yourself at some point in time to put the ball in your hands and say, the hell with all of this. I'm tired of us losing every time LeBron is not on the court. This brother got to be able to take a day off for us to win a damn basketball game. We need to do that. I would like to see that from guys like Kyrie on Cleveland, and I haven't seen that yet. That's all I'm saying.
The operative word in the question, is it time to question Kyrie, is not questioning Kyrie. Is it time? That's the phrase. Is it time now to question him? Look, he was never on a winning team before LeBron James got there, and they had some talent on that team. And clearly, if you're as great as Kyrie is, I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's underrated, in fact. If you're as good as he is, as great as he is, you should be able to be the best player on a winning team, at least, if not a championship team. There are questions about that. Absolutely. Can he be a winning player if he's the best player on the team? Especially if he's also playing with Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson and everybody else they have on that squad. Can he even be a winning player or a playoff team, let alone a championship contender, without LeBron? That is a legitimate question. But the operative phrase is it time now to question it? And the answer there is a resounding no. It is not time now. If and when LeBron ever, knock wood, suffers a catastrophic injury or decides to leave Cleveland and Kyrie inherits the mantle as best player on the team, then it will be time to question Kyrie. The fact of the matter is, what Kyrie is required to be now is the second best player on a championship team, and he's already proven he can do that. What he needs to show now is, can he be money down the stretch in, say, I don't know, a Game 7 of the finals on the road? And he's proven he can do that, and that's what the Cavs need him to be. Now, his stats are not are deflated compared to James Harden, Russell Westbrook, John Wall, and I'm not sure any of those guys are actually better than Kyrie Irving. But the way he is used, the way LeBron James uses him on this Cavs team, they don't care about stats on that team. LeBron James is trying to win a championship, and he's trying to optimize all the pieces he has. And in so doing, Kyrie is relegated, not as the central focal point of the offense of the team, but as a weapon, as a guy who needs to be second banana. And when you're so if LeBron leaves and he can't be Scottie Pippen in Jordan's absence, remember, Pippen should have gotten them to the finals. The Knicks were lucky to get a call against them and advance to play the Rockets. Otherwise, that's Pippen and the Bulls. Pippen showed he was the second best player to Olajuwon in the NBA as a result, partly of how his team succeeded with him as the number one guy. Eventually, Kyrie we have to see that from him, or maybe he's not as great as I think he is. But the time is not now, because this is LeBron James's world. Kyrie is doing just what he's supposed to be doing.
Well, you're missing my point. Kyrie Irving showed up in games 5, 6, and 7. One would argue he was better in those games than LeBron was. Some would make that debate. Some would make that argument during a debate.
No.
Some
Well,
would try to make that. Well, sure, fine, but some would make that debate. It just speaks to the potency of Kyrie Irving. We're not questioning his skill set. We're not questioning his greatness. We're not questioning his ability to show up in big moments. What I'm saying is, during a regular season where we've seen LeBron take games off, as well as himself, when we've seen LeBron log the minutes that he's logged, when we hear about how guys need rest, et cetera, all I'm saying is that when LeBron is not on the floor, do your thing. Take over. Do what you got to do. Because I'm not saying that he needs to do it to validate anything. Kyrie Irving is already validated. But when I say it's time to question, all I mean by that is that, look, you got the man who's doing what he's doing. He's proven himself to be the best player in the world. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing you can't win without LeBron. LeBron's when he's off the floor over the last 2 games, y'all got outscored 64-19. When he's not played in games at all, y'all are like 0-4 or 0-5. I'm saying that if you are a star on the same team as LeBron, you should tire of hearing that. That's not an indictment against Kyrie, his skills, his abilities, how he responds to pressure or anything like that. It's just simply saying, because you're so great, how about addressing this one challenge and shutting people up by wreaking havoc when LeBron is on the bench or when he's not playing at all, so we don't have to talk about that. That's all I mean by that.
We'll leave it there.